What do we never had this issue until you come? What the heck, dude?
It's just me, bro.
Honestly, but guys, I'm currently drinking a bang. I don't know why you guys can't see that. Oh, actually, I do know why. It's because the filter I added. It's the green screen one.
Oh, hold up. Oh, this is not. Oh, that's.
No. Just put. Actually, yeah, we could do that. There we go.
Boy.
This is kind of poor.
What do you mean?
This is a bad green screen right now. There, that's better.
Bright. Holy guys, how do you do this every day, bro?
Yeah, dude, it's a struggle here. So, guys, we're gonna be reacting to Leon Lush because I don't want to play NBA Live Mobile with my friend over. So, Jack, here's a go. Let's just say hi to everyone. We got JJ in the stream.
Yo. What's up, JJ?
Nice.
Oh, hi.
Oh my gosh, I hate that JJ kid, man.
Yeah, he's weird for real.
We got Taco, Kevin, Mr. Money, Libby, Not Your Average, NFL Go. What's good, everyone? Mr. Money, the GM. Dude, I was just about to go live. That sucks. Sure is reflective, I know. I don't know why it doesn't have any green on it, but... Alright, let's get it. This guy's really funny. Oh, can't. Oh my...
You know what skint is? Come on, bro. No. I'm British and I'm
There.
poor. Well, you have to be both of those things to understand what it means. So,
okay.
Having little or no money available.
Oh, we gotta restart
All right,
this.
but you ready to go skint?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what
I don't.
skint is? Come on, bro.
No, I'm not British and I'm not poor.
Well, you have to be both of those things to understand what it means. So,
okay.
having little or no money available. I'm a bit of a skint just now. This will be the second video I've watched from this channel. Just a little network television channel from the
This guy, his name is Leon Lush. He's so funny, dude. Have you ever watched this guy before?
No, I've never heard of him.
He's actually wicked funny. My friend Kyler showed me about him.
I've talked to Kyler in a long time.
Yeah, I know. Dude, this is the guy I always say in the stream, oh, I haven't seen in like 2 years. This is JJ. So, he's up for a week, a little over a week. What's going on? We're reacting to videos. Gosh, read the freaking title.
Okay, and they do a series called Rich Kids Go Skint where they take people who are so fun to hate, these unself-aware, just spoiled trust fund babies, and they make them do something unthinkable, which is to associate with the poors for a few hours at a time.
Right.
Imagine being
like
poor.
This one's called Rich
Real.
Kid Thinks
Gosh.
Poor People Are Like Dirt, so this couldn't possibly go bad.
First-year university student and a married mother of one. I'm Maria.
Oh God, she's married?
21 years old.
That's unfortunate.
I grew up in Russia. I later went on to boarding school in Switzerland, and then I went to high school in America.
Okay.
And I came to
Bougie.
for university.
Apparently
She
they
got
never
those
taught you how to
lippin'
speak with
plans.
Yeah,
authority.
right?
You can't hear a thing you're saying.
As
Dude, those
the
lips
daughter
are
of wealthy
thick.
Russian parents, Maria's always been cushioned in
Well, she's
life.
a Russian.
Definitely.
I basically got everything I wanted.
Nice.
I did not know that there is such a word as no.
My favorite kind of person. I'm starting to realize
No, it doesn't
that
exist.
It must be on the production
almost
team
dropped
to
my
make them
phone.
look as terrible as possible. Because the last one too is that they're just giving away all these things. that
Are
make-
you reacting to videos today? Yes, sir. We're
What's
reacting.
up, Drake?
Yeah, we got Drake in the stream?
Yo.
Okay.
like them so unlikable, and it works perfectly. And then like so after they profile them, they're like, all right, now you have to like talk to a normal person, and it's like, oh, gross.
Yeah, that was like the only word my parents told me when I was a kid. No. Yeah, no.
Damn, that's depressing.
Provided her with a flat in Staffordshire where she's studying, but it's hardly your average student digs. So
Studying
it's in my
champagne?
House. There's 3 bedrooms
Champagne.
here, 2 ensuite bathrooms, 1 guest bathroom.
3 bedrooms, bro?
That's an
And it's just
ugly-ass
you?
house.
I got 3
Oligarchy
bedrooms.
offspring.
But it's just her.
We could do a little.
She's the
dive
only
and
one
see
living
if,
there.
Like 3-story chandeliers. I'm not very impressed so far.
We have
What was
3
that, a
bedrooms
birch?
for our spare.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fair.
and
Hard
comes down.
to be
That's fair.
alone, like a mother.
But, like, it's just her house.
No.
For real.
I don't. What was that whole like a mother with no help? Like your whole thing is that you're rich, so you can pay for all the help you need, like nannies, whatever. I don't know what she's crying about.
Maria definitely needs no help putting together a top-class designer wardrobe.
It's the only thing
Hers
she's
is a
good at.
far cry from what most students would be wearing.
Dolce & Gabbana was around £1,000. There's
Just
a
that one.
favorite here, but
I don't wanna see
Stella McCartney.
what's
it was £800.
The thing about like when you watch these house
Pound
tours and all
to
these rich,
dollar conversion.
Oh yeah, look that up actually.
1 pound is $1.3, so that's 139, 1.39 thousand bucks.
Yeah.
people, it's like, just show me what you like and why you like it.
Watch JJ's stream clips.
Nah, that's just all Rocket League clips.
Care how much it costs, and that's all they do. They're like, hey,
Road
here's
to
a bag.
3K,
It was
yes, sir.
£5,000. Here's the shoe. It was 7,000 pounds. This pair of shoes costs more than your rent. Like, for most people, you like something because you like it, and occasionally you have things that are maybe cost a little more and they feel a little more dear to you, but for them it's like the only way they can place value on something is a monetary assessment, like
Honestly.
that right there.
My Fabergé egg.
Is that a Russian Fabergé?
It is. It also plays music.
Put it up to
That's
the
some
mic.
vibe music right
Facts,
there.
bro. That's bumping right there. Get that list bumping.
Yeah. Okay.
Small fraction.
Designer kids goes to the best.
Dolce & Gabbana. Warm
How much was
winter
it?
suit kind of thing.
How much?
How much is
Bro,
it
that
weigh?
looks like
I
something
need to know
you get
how much
from
it is.
Walmart.
Yeah, honestly, why would you need that?
That's because it costs much.
Thank you.
1,500
Thank you. Now I know it's
£1,500.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Pocket change.
Yep. Totally couldn't get everything that she has in there from
Listen, if I were to
Walmart
meet
with
her
the
and
exact
her
same
daughter
for
was
like
wearing
$2
an outfit
bucks.
less than
Honestly,
1,000 pounds, I'd punt her right in
Walmart
the
clothes
face.
looks better.
Yeah, for
You
real.
can actually hold on to
You can honestly get some drip from Walmart. Low key, bro. Walmart has some nice shirts.
Yeah.
I like Walmart shirts, bro. Not like the plain t-shirts, like the graphic design t-shirts.
Right.
Nah, some of the plain t-shirts are bumping though.
Oh yeah, dude, they're actually comfy as fuck. I bet you they would be more comfy than all these clothes.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine doing like a shopping spree. Like one of her clothes is like $1,300. Imagine you do a Walmart shopping spree with that money. How much clothes you could get?
We'll literally buy out their entire stock.
Honestly though.
Be bidding farewell to haute couture and live-in nannies to educate herself on the struggles faced by a family surviving on benefits.
Here we go.
The rich kid does, however, have a few reservations about living on a council estate.
When I think of her family in the poor area, I automatically think of
Cheap, wallet.
dirt.
Dude, one time I saw one girl at the store I was working at, like, have a straight up Louis Vuitton bag. Like, purse, bro. And she's in the shirt fine. Designer clothes look like clown clothes. Facts.
Dirt. I think of dirt.
This is so fucked up,
Bro.
When I think of people that are middle to lower class, I just think about those infomercials I saw with kids with flies, flying around their face.
For $20 a day, you can feed 500 poor people.
You can support a middle class family from the United Kingdom.
People who don't take care of themselves, like look-wise.
Living skins is definitely going to be quite an education when rich kids
What's
don't
this video? It's poor people are like dirt, in quotes. Girls hit different. And it's by Leon Walsh.
skins.
This little one down here is Maddie. He's 4. He's our oldest son.
Hold on, what's that? Enhance. Enhance. Is that dirt on Maddie's lip? Fucking peasant.
I know, yeah. Like, what is that on the wall? A tramp stamp?
They're so poor they have a tramp stamp decal as a fucking room decoration. Probably matches the one above her gas crack.
So this is our kitchen.
Well, my kitchen is maybe 3-4 times as big.
It's like the first thing she says. Here's my
Yeah.
kitchen. Yeah, it's about a quarter the size of my kitchen.
Wow.
You have
dude, just
the
flexing.
cook's quarters around the corner. You don't have cooks either. Oh yeah, no. I
Okay,
have about
yeah.
four or five cooks during the
4 or
week,
5
7
cooks.
on the weekends.
One for each quarter.
So this is the older son's room. It's not very spacious.
Only 3 meals
so
a
much
day.
for your baby's room.
Wow. Abs thing.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh, we could have skipped it like a couple of seconds ago.
If there's a little walk-in wardrobe.
Yeah, oh wow. She has her own wardrobe at 8 months.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mums.
Will send me at this
Oh my.
point.
Becky's younger son Alfie is suffering from a bad cold.
Yeah, because there's no hygiene. Clearly, there's dirt everywhere. Hello.
Alright,
There's
Drake,
no
we'll watch
maid to
him.
clean, and there's no masks.
Get to sleep on
You
a
know.
straw mat covered in dirt and sheep shit.
Yeah, eat taters and leather. Shoe leather.
That was so stressful.
Not
is
cow
very
leather, shoe
stressful.
leather.
Shoe leather, yeah.
It's such a small space, and she has to do everything. She has to cook
Life
for
is
the
hard.
2 kids.
Gosh,
do
she has to
the
do
washing,
everything.
Clean, and all of that while the baby.
Dude, she has to freaking do her own laundry. Plus her kids' laundry.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I couldn't imagine.
Wow.
Are like, I don't know.
How are you supposed to have time to buy designer handbags when you have to cook and clean?
Yeah, I can't even imagine being poor at this point. Like, I'm starting to resonate with this lady. Also, we were making fun of the poor woman, just for clarity's sake.
Yeah.
We probably should make
Bro,
fun of
trying
this
to
girl.
get my ear.
The
Whoa.
worst
Hey,
part about my
yo.
sense of humor is the fact I
That's
always, I'm just sarcasm 100%
It's not,
of the
it's
time.
like one of those little
Yeah,
fruit
So people that
flies.
don't
Yeah, those
understand
are
that
so
are just
annoying.
Originally it was on your
dick
camera, then I just heard.
Hey, yo, be like, okay.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, that's pretty conservative for a rich person, if we're being honest. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess when you have no needs or bills, maybe that's not. But
right,
that
yeah.
should,
From our experience,
right, yes.
that's what we're dealing with on a general basis.
I mean, $5,000 to $6,000 a month is my V-Bucks budget, for Christ's sake.
For at least 7
Don't
to
spend
8
my
months
V-Bucks.
or 8 months on track.
Guys, so JJ's spending the night at my house, and he doesn't want to like bring his PS4 from being at my other friends. So I just was like, all right. I asked my brother, can my friend JJ use your PS4, just log into his account. So he was like, yeah, it's okay. You can use my PS4, just don't spend any of my V-Bucks.
All bills, food, the whole lot.
Not my
It's
V-Bucks.
crazy to me.
Whoa, there's the fruit
Yeah,
fly.
there it is.
I'm actually like trying
You're
to
trying
cut
to
down,
cut
and
down.
that's me cutting down. Like before, like last year, we would usually spend around 8,000
Dad.
to 9,000.
Bro, why did it not move?
Wow.
It just
It's
like
interesting
let me
that they
kill
do
it.
this
For
entire
real.
drawn-out
It's like
segment
suicidal.
about
So
them
he died.
realizing that people that are like low income are like, wow, someone with a lot of money spends a lot more than I do. This is crazy. Like, what the fuck do you expect? Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
only am I
honestly.
poor, I'm also dumb.
So what's your most expensive
Dang.
item that you have
You're poor, you don't get an education. That's how it works.
Crocodile skin.
Birkin.
That
Not
one
wrong.
was 34,000 pounds.
Are you actually serious?
They can't all be
crazy.
winners.
That is actually crazy.
Hey,
How
she
many
agrees.
times-
This is like 5 minutes of her just flexing her dick. Like, hey, I'm so rich, and I'm just gonna sit here and shit on you guys.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
the best part
That's what
about
rich
this thing
people
was, like,
do.
there's no
Yeah,
redeeming.
for real.
At least in the last one, the first one I watched of these, there was no like redemption arc. It was like, hey, this person's incredibly unlikable and rich and out of touch and unself-aware.
Yeah.
And then they go like tell these poor people how much money they spend, and then like the segment's over, and you're like, what the fuck is the point of this show?
No, this is this. I don't know. There's no point to this entire video.
No,
Like,
like at
this
least
show-
make her do like some farm work, like that old Paris Hilton show on MTV, like something, like make her get her hands dirty.
I don't know what that show
I
is.
think he's overpriced a bit now.
Same.
He's definitely a lot more better than yesterday.
I got so
I
much
was
sunburn on my face.
Choking to death on the bed.
You're red.
Yeah, I'm
That nigga's got
sunburned.
COVID for sure.
I was hoping to get a mixture of tea.
Have you ever seen that pastor? Dude, he's a whack job. We should react to one of those videos. Leon Walsh, this guy actually did it.
I do realize that
It was really
actually
weird.
willingly like go to the NHS.
So the NHS, I think, is like their socialized healthcare versus
Yeah.
private, and
Right.
unthinkable that someone would go to free healthcare instead of paying
Cannot
$50,000 for a doctor's visit.
Bargain she found yesterday at the charity shop.
That's a cute kid.
That you like buffalo.
So the green screen just not cover right here? Or is
No, it's because it's, see, look,
He's poor. That's all
there.
he's got.
But it's hard to get us in shot there. There we go.
Just
That
sit
is
like
like a normal
this.
little kid.
Alright.
That is.
Like that?
That's a cute smile. He's so pumped. It's the first praise he's gotten in his life.
He hasn't learned to talk yet. He's too poor.
The more money you have, the faster you learn to talk.
Your level
Gosh,
of
dude,
speech
just buy
progression as a
talking.
child is directly related
Come on.
to your
You only got the
familial
speed
wealth,
pass?
obviously.
Yeah, you can go into it in a couple of years, can't you?
Realising how little the
Just gotta buy
family
the
has
battle
to spend
pass,
on
bro.
clothes, Maria's decided to make a
Well,
donation.
no, that would waste his V-Bucks.
No.
Oh no, not the V-Bucks.
He's so selfless.
Pretty Gucci
This is a
nightgown.
sweater.
right.
From Laura Piana.
$900.
It's cashmere.
Jack ain't reading his chat, Dad.
It's my favorite type of.
You're right, I'm reacting to this
material.
video.
It's cozy. It's soft. It's warm.
It looks very expensive.
It was.
You're right.
Oh, you're right, Drake.
$400 or $500.
Should just do that.
Oh my gosh.
I could feed my family for 6 months.
That chair that Ben has, it's like 2 people wide,
Absolutely amazing.
even though it's just one chair.
Just use one chair.
Up
Yeah,
until
you
this
just sit on my
point,
lap.
completely had no opinion on her, but she just dropped $500 on my son's sweater. Love her to death. Didn't even buy it for me. It was literally a hand-me-down. Might as well have went to the Salvation Army, for Christ's sake. Couldn't even buy him something fucking new, the cheap prick.
Yeah, she wipes her ass with cashmere.
Yeah, that's the sweater she hates the most in her entire wardrobe. Cashmere's for not rich people. Tell you that much.
I was really worried that when she come in, but she's so down
Dude,
to
I'm
earth,
sorry, but
and
she's
we've got quite a lot in
ugly.
common as well.
Do you see her?
Like, what was the what was the point of that?
There was nothing redeeming. She donated a $500 sweater. And
$500 at pocket
Why
change
did
to her,
they?
too.
A,
For
why
real.
did they agree to it? Like, what was the
That's
pitch
nothing.
from the Channel 5 producers? Like,
do you want
I
to be a
don't get it.
supervillain in real life? Like, do you
Yeah.
want to be hated by the
yeah,
internet?
hey, I know that you're probably desperate for
I
attention
clapped
because
it,
your
but
whole
it
life
survived.
you filled the void that your family's left with money. So okay, we'll give you like 30 minutes of attention if you
I'll
agree
see
to
you
like
here,
go
go watch the audio,
talk to this
okay.
poor person for an hour. And what they don't tell her is they're going to paint her to be horrendous, and then for like
Yeah.
one brief thing at the end, they're going to be like, "Hey, I gave away the secondhand sweater, and the poor person loves me." So
Yeah, look, I'm all right. I do think poor people are like dirt, but here's my sweater.
I really feel like it's a missed opportunity that the final shot wasn't just them panning out on her being chopper lifted out of there.
And like a golden carriage or something.
Just like the kid and the mom are like getting blown by
Golden
the chopper.
private
She's just like
jet.
hanging off
Yeah,
the ladder.
right.
She gets airlifted out of the fucking poor neighborhood.
Not only that, but she gets airlifted
Can't
out
stay in
of
there for
the,
a second
the
longer.
funeral for the sick kid.
Obviously.
Because he didn't make it. Because
He
he's
dies.
sick and
Yeah.
poor. Yeah.
He dies, and she just gently like it's just like B-roll of her like gently
Yeah.
folding the sweater and putting it on his coffin, and then just like a Metallica song while she airlifts out.
His
of there.
90
Fucking-
overall lineup in NBA Live Mobile good.
Yeah.
It's alright, bro.
I
It matters how
appreciate you
long
watching
you
that, mate.
have been playing
And if
for.
anyone's made it
If
this
you've
far
started
without
if you've been
being
playing for the
unwind
past couple of
the
days,
way
yeah,
of
that's really
sarcasm,
good.
What the
Just
internet
keep grinding.
never fails to do is
I had like a 72
make
overall. I
rich
gave you my
people,
phone for like
to be
5
complete
minutes and it was almost
unaware
80
of
already.
Yeah.
As
Dude,
always,
I've been
Oompa, it's been an
grinding,
absolute
dude.
pleasure to have you. I
I
appreciate
don't
being on my
understand what
channel.
they
If you
did
guys
to
want
it.
to see more on Oompa and myself, we recorded 2 videos together that are both on his channel where we watched some short horror films, which was really fun. Check those out. And
Alright,
if you could do
Drake.
me a favor, as always, hit thrust the motherfucking like button for me. If you haven't subscribed,
We will, watch that guy. What's his name?
Penguins 0. Penguins.
I believe I've actually heard of him. Karen at Victoria's Secret. Alright, let's watch this.
I've got a special Karen for
Yeah, have you seen this guy?
yeah.
I've seen him too.
I've got a special Karen for you today. One of those shiny Pokemon. This is
95 and
Victoria's
over, I would
Secret
agree. That's
Karen.
probably a pretty good one.
It's you. Now you are. Oh
Dude, her nose is huge. You see her nose? I thought I had a big nose.
Your nose is wide. Hers is just.
Dude, just like a witch nose. It's like,
What was that? He lied in his nose. One
Pinocchio?
big- Pinocchio, yeah.
dude, Pinocchio got nothing.
Oh my God!
Oh my god.
Do you see this?
Oh no.
Oh my God!
The embarrassment.
I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me, and now she.
Dude, she's having a breakdown.
Victoria's
bro.
Secret is a sacred store to me. It'll always hold a
I
special
didn't just
place in
flick
my
you.
heart.
No, I
When
didn't.
was a
Nope.
young boy,
Didn't
I
happen.
would
No, I
scroll through the Victoria's Secret catalog that they'd send in everyone's mail as spam and just look at the lingerie. And it was responsible for some of my first erections. The internet was filled with all of the options to see titties that it is today. Can't even go on Twitter now without seeing someone's grandmother throwing her asshole inside out and announcing her OnlyFans. But back then, you really had to go out of your way to find it, and Victoria's Secret was just always there for me. So to see this happen at a Victoria's Secret is truly heartbreaking and sad
How old are you and your friend? 16.
for me to watch. It's kind of like
July
in the John Wick
31st till I
universe
turn
with the
17,
Continental,
August
a place that you would
26th.
consider a safe spot
They turn 17.
for everyone to
Or
go and
almost
enjoy,
17,
and which
which
has
is
now
crazy.
been ruined because of this Karen here.
Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your worker.
Oh, dude, I
She
swear.
tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you.
Bro, how many fruit flies you got? Holy.
I know, it's bad in here. Down bad.
You should have thought about that before you did what you did.
Because of the freaking lights, dude.
Yeah.
She sounds
They're
like
going
she's
crazy.
crying while inhaling helium. She quite literally sounds like a balloon animal being deflated. So this Mickey Mouse Karen over here with her
Actually,
high-pitched
it's, like,
squealing
crouching
keeps
like
reiterating that she didn't try to hit her, even though just moments ago we saw her try and hit her. So I don't
13,
exactly know what's
August
going
1st.
on here, what
Hey.
kind of galaxy brain scheme she's running, but she's not fooling me.
Oh,
I've got a special
no, I did
Karen
not.
for you.
Oops, sorry.
The sacred story. Victoria, that you would consider a safe spot. See that she's a classically trained actor taking courses from Tommy.
Y'all got to get security. She charged me. If I wouldn't have ducked, she would. Oh no, you just wanted security for me, right? I want security for you now. No, don't cry.
If you only heard the audio here with no video, you would probably think it was an episode of The
You caught
Muppets
it
with the
and
way
just
this lady's
released it.
carrying on her crying antics here. So the context here, moaning Myrtle, who keeps crying, initially
Moaning Myrtle.
shoved this lady out of the way for some panties. So the lady said, "Excuse me," and then she just, all hell broke loose. All of a sudden, the fucking chains were lifted. She was free to just let out the demon. So she started screaming and yelling, calling for security. So then the lady started filming, and now that's where we're coming in here. This is 4-part video here. It's a very long anime.
Long anime.
Call security.
Dude, we're about to binge watch anime tonight, bro.
I just came to get my free panty. You know how you get the coupon in the mail? Yeah.
Hey, yo, what you doing with Jack? Our friend just texted us.
Yeah, if you don't want her filming you, why not just leave? Like, you can absolutely just walk out. You're not being held prisoner there. You're not fucking trapped there by a force field or some kind of ancient spell. You can just get up and leave. And then she wouldn't be able to keep recording you. You know, it's not like she's torturing you with a camera in your face, laughing at you with nothing that
First
you
time
can
I
do,
say
like
Jack,
a
I
David
swear
Dobrik video.
to
You can just leave.
my dude.
You're making this scene.
Looks
And I
like
can
an
totally understand
18, 19
why
in
this
the
lady's
army.
filming.
Yeah, it's because
for
my
her own
buzz cut,
protection.
bro. If I have
In
hair,
a
I look
case like
younger.
this, where it's a he said, she said
Hair's gone.
situation, and she's threatening to call the cops and security, it's best to have a video to prove your
You should
innocence
just,
than
like,
to
have
just go
clipped it like
back
I
and
do.
forth with different
Yeah.
conflicting
I
stories.
got my hair cut
So
the
I
day
totally
before I came
understand
down.
why people bring out their
Or
phones
up.
in confrontations like
I was
this.
gonna
I think
say
it's
down.
the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Even though
She's
you're
not
12
trying to
hours
fight her.
above
It's
me.
not like the lady filming has like a baton behind her
Well,
that she's
that's
like
huge.
threatening to beat her with
That's a
or something.
freaking
You know, she
That's
just
a
baby moss.
because when the cops do inevitably
Bro, they just
come,
let you
they'll
murder
have
them.
evidence
What?
to prove
Dead.
that she's done nothing wrong.
Dead.
Scaring me.
Too good. It's because the window's open. Probably should shut up.
Oh. I trapped him off in there.
Good, good.
No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this.
Not
Why are
gonna
people
lie, this
still
part
wearing
actually
masks,
infuriated
bro?
me that the asshole at the register targets the lady filming
That's
instead
whack.
of the
Why are you still
screeching
wearing
This might be
masks?
old,
banshee
though.
that's
Well,
rolling
She's-
around
she's
the
hot,
floor
though.
like a
The way
fucking
she's
fire
acting,
drill,
yeah.
just absolutely losing her mind.
And this
crying
video
over
was
nothing.
uploaded
You know, the person
today.
actually making the scene, instead of saying, "Hey, why don't you leave?"
don't
she instead
get it.
talks to the lady who's
Really
filming and
don't.
says, "Get the fuck out." Why?
Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go.
Bro, she might die if that camera's on her any longer. I don't know.
I know, she's just gonna like explode.
Combustion.
It's like that one person from
Oh.
Avenger Time.
Oh, there she goes.
She's flopping.
Oh, that radiation from the camera just too
This
much.
was the slowest and most dramatic death I've ever seen from Theater Club. She really wanted to faint, but she wasn't ready to commit to it. So instead, she does a little slow, controlled
Camera
fall,
lady,
just
camera
gently lowering
woman
herself
has
down, and even
MC
going so far as to
superpowers.
make a nice
Just
little
look at
pillow
you and
with
you
her
just
purse,
slowly die.
just to
Dude,
ensure
that
that under
freaking
no
camera has like
circumstances
some
would she actually be injured.
superpowers.
But
Juan, what's
that
up,
doesn't really
Ben?
help sell the idea that you just fainted, unfortunately. Of course, you all know that I'm a world-renowned actor, most famous for my role in the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, and more recently as Officer Greg in a horror movie, so I can recognize quality acting when I see it.
Bro,
And this
what's
is
with
just
all the
Dude,
big ones?
that's a
acting
big
right here.
one.
Like, if James Cameron hit me up tomorrow, he calls me up, he says, Charlie, big man, I'm gonna need you to be in the new Avatar movie. It's doomed for failure without you.
I believe he
please
actually
just
was
come on
like
down to
in
the set tomorrow. We have a death scene for you to
what
film.
movie?
And I show up on set and I pull
He wasn't
one,
actually in
he's-
a movie, but like
he's
in the
putting his
background.
dick in my face and
Ben,
telling me
just
I'm
send
never
it to
working
me.
in Hollywood again because it's not good acting. You see, if she really wanted to sell the idea that she fainted or passed out, she should have really committed, you know? Maybe like a big squeal, ah, and then like dive backwards and like land on her back. Maybe like move her arms.
Rain
around a
waves
bit.
coming from the
Like,
5G on
turtle
the camera.
shell. Like then, you
Killing
know,
her.
maybe we have different conversation right now. But this right here, terrible.
Definitely MC with that kind of laugh.
Yeah.
Did you have 2 yoga mats?
No, I had one. We was
Extra
trying
in
to
the
find
Hunger
price tag
Games?
for one of them, just the one I had.
Her plan did not
Yeah.
work. Nobody seemed to care about
Yeah.
this. I think she was expecting people to be like panicking, like, "Oh my God, she fucking died! We need an ambulance here ASAP and bring in
Somebody
everyone.
call
We need the
911.
National Guard. Holy fuck, this is extreme!" But instead, everyone ignored her and just went about their day. The lady filming
Dead.
even turns off the camera, thinking that this is where it ends. She'll just lay there for the rest of her life, playing dead. I don't know. But unfortunately, this isn't where it ends, so she
Committed.
stopped filming for a moment.
You just gotta
and
stay
then
there
this
dead till
lady
they bury
just
you.
took that as a moment to go fucking wild.
Till
So
they-
she turned
they
back
closed
on
the
the
mall
camera,
or the
and
store.
that takes us to part 2.
What is that? Oh, logos?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's actually
Your
dope.
pet has just been diagnosed with diabetes.
Yeah, I think he did that on his PC. That one's hand drawn. That's his PC.
I actually, yeah, dude, that's actually pretty
You keep
dope.
lying saying I'm threatening you, so I'm recording to protect myself.
Oh, she's alive again.
Oh my gosh.
She's back.
Back from the dead. She must be the main,
They must be trying to dial
Protagonist?
security from a
What
mall
the
in a
hell?
different
Yeah.
state because it's been 45 minutes of them just saying security's on their way. I don't know what's gone
Slow
awry
ass
there in that
security,
procedure.
right?
This response time is
45
abominable.
minutes?
They
That's
must just
not
be
good.
shooting up heroin
Cop
in the
show.
background.
What if there's
or
like an
something, I forgot.
actual like
'Cause
bad
it's just
thing
not
going
coming.
on, dude?
I'm starting to
Yeah.
believe that the security at this mall is
He
like the
also
Tooth
played
Fairy. It just doesn't
role
exist.
as a cop in a recent horror movie.
That's really cool. Yo, she's loud.
Yeah.
Fearless Junior, what's up, bro? We're just reacting to videos right now, chillaxing. I don't want to play NBA Live Mobile.
Crazy
Nothing to
lady.
do on the game.
And she attacked me and tried to say I attacked her. You cut. Look at this.
Hey, yo.
Oh, y'all better get this lady.
Yeah, you just gotta turn around and flop her, really.
Dude, yeah, just rock her world.
Security. Look at this.
Make her acting. look
That's
like-
actually a law, though. Like, if you feel threatened, you have the right to take someone out. Straight up.
Pretty fucking stupid plan here. Shouting, "Get away
What's up,
from
P
me,"
Games?
while actively chasing her
How you doing,
around
bro?
like it's a game of tag at the local playground. Get away from me! Why are you chasing me? Stop it! Get back here so you can get away from me!
How much sugar did you say was in it?
No, I gotta
It's
just
like
protect
60
myself.
grams
She's
of
trying
sugar
to
on
tell
that.
me.
It's all gone
No,
now.
no.
Oh
Yeah,
my
so
gosh,
this one
already?
is basically just
Bro,
a
you should
goofy
just bought the
cartoon
whole
character
thing of
continues
lemonade
to
up here.
scream some more, and it just sounds like stock horror sound effects. I'll go ahead and spare you more of her squealing, so I'll just go ahead and fill you in on the lore from here. After driving cross-country, mall security finally arrives to the scene, only to say that there's nothing that they can nor anything they want to do because the lady moved. She went outside of the store because real cops arrived, so she was talking to them. Real cops take both of their
Yeah, I'll show
statements. Of course,
watch.
our protagonist here has a video to back up her
I
side of
mine
things,
too. I've
whereas
been
the other
watching
woman
their
is just
stuff.
once again going through some kind of
Alright, I'll check them out after
delusional
this one.
rant about how like the video cameras emitting
What's up, Jeff?
harmful
How you doing,
5G
bro?
radiation that's targeting her and
Let's watch them.
bringing her down or something.
is
I don't know, I
done.
couldn't really hear what she was saying, but yeah.
114K? Oh, this is like a bunch of guess the song, bunch of like music stuff. Ultimate Artist. Dude, let's watch this. We're not gonna watch all of this. Is 50 minutes long, but we can watch like a little bit through this. It's a Ultimate
Now,
album
this one got
art
recommended for
tier
a
list.
specific reason, I believe. I wonder why. And I am alive. Today we're strolling back into that old critique room. This is the Ultimate Album Art Tier List. Alright, now here's why this one is ultimate. We've done these before, we've ranked album artwork in this tier list format, but this time we asked our patrons. That's right, our Patreon members have selected all of the albums for today's other than the sponsor. Stick around. And yes, there are a lot of people who go maximalist with color, but Takashi Murakami does it in a way that I don't think anybody else has really been able to do.
It's just tasteful and effect on
What's
me
up,
as a
Jay?
child. I was like, my stupid little bear, whatever, let's get into these raps.
Kanye
And that's
West,
the difference
not a
between
fan.
us, really.
For
It's
real.
like,
Kanye West
So,
overrated.
this one
What do you
pulled me
think?
in. I mean, I was
Kanye?
already a fan of
Yeah.
Kanye, but I remember like being excited about this
I only
album
ever
because of the visuals.
listened to one
I
of
was
his
like,
songs
oh, wow.
fully,
Yeah,
so
it was
it was
really
like
great.
And
it's
we have
all
no Love
bad,
is Rage or
honestly.
anything.
It's not that
by
good,
Uzi.
bro. I don't get how people are into
There's
Kanye.
so many things in rap.
When they're
Kanye
shorter,
for president.
just the rapper
even
videos are
count
funny,
exist-
alright, but... Alright, we'll do this.
But people voted for Kanye were
Kanye is always
actually
enjoyed by
like,
my
whack
Mercurial,
jobs,
so host
for real.
That one's gone.
That must be the Kanye relief guy,
Today
bro.
we're learning the language of love. This is Guess the Song from the Google Translated Lyrics. Alright, here's how this one's gonna work. We're gonna see some lyrics that have been put through a set of Google translations. And we're gonna have to try to guess which song the original lyrics come from. 1 point for each one we get right. Me versus Graydon versus Amanda in Mississippi.
MISS, you're going down.
MISSISSSIPP poop poop bang! Alright, before we get into it, like the
Wait, he
video,
put
subscribe if
three
you want to
S's
see
back
more, go to
there.
HiveMyTV.com for our merch, and check the link in the description for our Patreon. It's $5 a month, you get a bunch of extra content, and it's the best way to support us right now.
We need more markers. They're so fun. Give me marker. No, give me marker.
Alright, let's take a gander at these old Google Translates.
gander.
Like a Caucasian in a lecture, whiteboard. She loves my ID. On my way back to high school, I took a bus to dance. Yes.
Somebody the
Now I
baby.
go
It
to
says yes in
FBO
it. It's
in
gotta
my
be the
wrist.
baby.
Let's
It was half
go!
an hour
Baby on baby.
before half an hour. It's really easy for me. Simple as that. As light.
Well, I don't know the track title.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, I know who it is.
3, 2, 1.
Is it Look Alive?
Back in high school, I used to bust it to the dance. Yeah.
That.
This is Sicko Mode by Travis Scott featuring Drake.
Oh, that's the Sicko Mode verse.
Yeah,
I-
it is. Wow, I felt like we got an
Oh,
under
yeah.
softball there, and
Yep.
we swung so hard we fell on our ass.
Oh, yeah, there is a ton. The chat right now. Sicko mode, sicko mode,
Yeah.
sicko mode. You guys are idiots. I'm not watching this channel anymore. You guys aren't smart enough
So
for me
glad
to
you're
watch.
playing
I'm
NBA a lot
smarter
more
than
now.
you.
Me too,
Me
bro.
and my
Game's
friends
dry.
should place you guys in front of the desk, in front of the yellow wall, and we should do the videos. We're better than you. You guys suck.
Yeah, I can see him going off too.
I'm not proud of you, son. I don't think it was a very good career choice to chase YouTube.
Kids say the darnest things. Who taught us that? Rick Moranis? Oh.
Riley, I'm your grandmother. Why don't you ever give me a call? You're too busy.
I forgot to call my mom again tonight. Bro, she gonna be so mad when I actually call her.
I can't believe you forgot to call your mom yesterday, bro.
Like when you were a kid.
Dang.
Yeah. What were you even doing yesterday?
All
Went to
right,
rack
we
and
got my son stabbed him
What
behind,
did we-
and for him.
What did we do yesterday?
Yeah, for real.
Honestly. Yesterday was Sunday. I worked from 6 to 3.
Then we went to rack.
Yeah.
Then we went back to Ben's place.
Yep. I live streamed.
Yeah, then you went home and live streamed.
Yeah.
That was really it.
You forgot to call your mom.
Said,
Yep.
we have Birkin weapon.
Dude, a perk and a Birkin? You ever had that?
Perk and a Birkin.
Ooh, I got my perk and a Birkin.
Yeah.
I got my perk and a Birkin.
Babe, put my perks in your Birkin.
Rich the Kid, if you're watching, that's a free one.
Yeah.
I got a perk and a Birkin. Woo! Chucking off some money with my shirt.
That's a free one.
Ooh.
3, 2, 1.
Future looking exotic.
Sanguine Paradise, little Uzi Vert.
This
I
is
think
his
I've
and
heard
hers
either of
by
those.
internet money.
Ah.
And the real lyrics.
Baby hit that back
Uzi
and
is
hurt.
overrated in
Then
my
pour a
opinion,
full
bro.
curve.
Some of
We
the
got
songs
his
are
and
good.
hers.
Yeah, some of it. His old, like,
To me
2016,
and
2017
American.
Uzi is fire,
My
but
son
not his
stabbed
newer
him
stuff.
behind. How did that come from hit that back and burp? Ugh. Four hymns have never said we have.
Can you react to a video I want you
church
to?
in my life.
Yeah, me too.
Matters what the video is, dude.
What's the worst thing you ever done in a church, you think?
I've stolen the wine.
I was with you, actually.
Wow.
We did that.
Yeah, and
Wow.
I drank it and I vomited.
Oh,
That's
okay.
bad.
I mean, that's what you get for stealing the wine at church. I
Honestly.
mean,
Catching a buzz, and I
God was
chugged
like, nope.
a pint of church
Pretty
wine,
shitty
communion
move.
wine.
No, yeah.
And it made me sick, and I vomited. I also spit in someone's mouth at a funeral once, like the dead person's.
Oh.
oh, okay. I'm about to say, who just let you spit in their
I was
mouth?
trying to suck it back
Kinky.
up, but it escaped me.
Yo, what was he? Wait,
Why
what?
was he deep kissing the guy in the?
He said something about sucking.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
let's-
he's trying to suck the
No,
spit
yeah.
back.
And it made me sick, and I vomited.
Oh, that's
I also spit in someone's mouth at a funeral once, like the dead person's, kind of like let one of those long ones go. And I was trying to suck it back up, but it escaped me, and it fell right into
Oh, a
me.
big loogie.
Yeah. Who? It's my uncle. I spit in my uncle.
Fine.
That didn't feel-
She is a savage, laundry. An evil prostitute, yes. New boat, whip. Skiing. Skiing. Add
We'll
2
take a look
glasses
at
of
it
whiskey,
after this
2
one.
cups. Blow up
What?
the city. Oh.
Wow. She is a savage, laundry. I love that. Savage.
She's a savage, laundry. An evil prostitute.
Yes! 3, 2, 1.
Whipski, snot.
Whipski, skies and snot.
It's Whipski by Skies and Snot.
Yes. Yep.
On the board.
That's a good
Bad
song.
bitch became evil prostitute.
I like that song.
Sometimes that does happen.
Yeah.
You know?
How did laundry come out of woe? Is there some language out there where you got to do your woe every Sunday?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, hit the laundry, dude. Oh, it is. It is kind of like a dryer cycle, you know? Yeah, if you did that for like a while.
45 minutes.
Yeah. Here, this is throwing the clothes up, and then this is the cycle.
Or the fold.
Like, it could be the fold. Maybe it does come from that.
I mean, it makes
I
sense.
recommend you
Yeah,
stop watching these guys and watch.
Spa, I have a
Actually,
Spanish
it's
girl who
actually
speaks English.
funny,
Oh,
unlike the
I
video
feel
funny
a
now.
little English.
Wow.
I know the language of
Just gonna
old
diss him like
dogs.
that, bro.
Absent.
You know what?
bad
You
goats.
said we should watch that video. Now we're gonna watch it and we're gonna judge it very harshly. So it better be funny. So
We'll watch yours after. Does
after
that say Clarissa? I think. I'm bad with like anything that's not straight Roman.
this better be funny. We're judging this harshly.
Someone you can rely on, who's always on your side. That's why there's nationwide. That's why there's nationwide. Nationwide.
There's no skipping.
Yeah, no.
Look at this camera quality, holy.
Dude, this is freaking 4K.
Nah, bro, 8K.
Now, to balance the scale, I'd like to talk
480.
about some things that bring us together. Things that point out our similarities instead of our differences. Because that's all you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about, the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh, we should read the comments before we actually. Hold on, let's read the. Oh, comments are turned off.
Oh no.
Okay, someone did react to this. Okay, people made videos reacting to this.
Okay, so we're fine.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. If people can make videos, we're good.
Classes
We're good.
fighting with each other so that they, the rich,
Oh,
can
gosh.
run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. You know, anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income,
Big
education,
facts.
social
This is straight
status,
facts. It's not
sexuality.
funny, but
Anything
it's
you can do,
facts.
keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country?
Comedy, I
The
swear.
upper class keeps all of the money,
Oh,
pays
might
none
fall
of the
asleep
taxes.
to this.
The middle
Honestly.
class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Keep them showing up at those jobs. So, So stirring up the shit is something I like to do from time to time, but I also like to know that I can come back to these little things we have in common, little universal moments that we share separately, the things that make us the same. They're so small we hardly ever talk about them. Do you ever look at your watch and then you don't know what time it is? And you have to look again, and you still don't know the time. So you look a third time, and somebody says, "What time is it?" You say, "I don't know."
Yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to
Do you ever
that.
notice how sometimes all day Wednesday, you keep thinking it's Thursday? And it happens over and over all day long. And then the next day, you're all right again. Do you ever find yourself standing in one of the rooms in your house, and you can't remember why you went in there?
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of stand-up comedy like this.
And
I don't
two
think it's super
words
funny.
float across your
opinion.
mind: Alzheimer's disease. You ever been talking to yourself and somebody comes in the room and you have to make believe you were singing? And you hope to God the other person really believes there's a song called "What Does She Think I Am?" Some kind of putz? Little experiences we've all had. You ever been sitting in a railroad train in a station and there's another train sitting right next to you and one of them starts to move and you can't tell which one it is?
What's up, Daddy Jack? What's up,
How about when
Daddy?
you're out on a small boat on a windy day?
Hi,
You ever
what's
been out
up,
rocking
Taylor?
back and forth for 3 or 4 hours trying to keep your balance,
I don't
rough
stand up
seas,
either.
little boat. Then you get back into the shore and you're standing on the dock and you can swear there was something inside of you that was still out there rocking.
Like,
Did you ever
some
try to pick up a
stand-up
suitcase? You
comedians are
thought it was
really
full,
good,
but it
like,
wasn't.
Yeah.
And you go,
These guys are...
Hello, Jack's
and for
friend.
just a split
Dude,
second, you feel really strong.
Hello.
How about when you're looking through a chain link fence? Do you ever notice if you're just the right distance from a chain link fence, sometimes it seems to go, what is that? How do they do that?
What is he even talking
Did you ever
about?
try to
right
tell
now?
somebody they have a little bit of dirt on their face? You can never get them to rub the right spot, can you?
Yo, hey,
They got a
yo.
little bit of dirt right here. They always go, where? Here? And you just want to slap the bastard.
Get out of here.
Did you ever notice how awful your face looks in a mirror in a
It's not even
restroom that
funny,
has
though.
fluorescent lights? Every cut, scrape, scratch, scar, scab, bruise, boil,
All right,
bump, pimple,
we'll check
zip,
that
wart,
out right
welt, and
after
abscess
this.
you've had since birth. All seem to come back at the same time. And all you can think of is, I gotta get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, let's watch that, bro. This is, I don't like stand up like that. I'm actually really down to listen to something interesting. Moves.
Oh, please tell me it's that number 15 guy.
Oh yeah. I love that guy.
For real.
He's bae.
My neck actually hurts like crazy.
Yeah, dude, my freaking throat's like been hurting like. It's scary.
For real, AJ.
Take it off. I can't stop laughing. Man, listen, I'm probably just not in the right mood right now. All right, top 5. Let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, Bugs, go.
Top 5
Bugs
most
are gonna eat us
horrifying
out
killer
alive.
kids. Murder is the
Gonna eat us
last
out.
thing you'd expect a child to do. But just like adults, there are kids damaged beyond repair as a result of circumstances beyond their control.
Oh gosh.
Sometimes they're even just broken from the start. The next 5 children looked ordinary from the outside.
Okay, that's a question. Are serial killers made, or are they born, or is it
They're
both?
definitely made.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you're a
It's-
product of your environment.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But on the inside, there was something sinister lurking. Here are the top 5 most horrifying killer kids.
Parents are the main reason for that, though. That's the thing.
Facts.
Number
Like,
5.
you can get
Eric
bullied and
Smith.
you turn out as a fine person.
At 13 years old,
parents-
Eric Smith
I've seen
had
That's
him.
you.
aviator glasses,
Shut the fuck up.
hustled red hair, and freckles. He looked like a typical
Bro, I ain't got
American
those
teen.
big,
But there was
huge
something
glasses that go like
different about
that.
Those are
At a
big.
young age,
Yeah.
Eric was prone to explosive anger and violence. As a toddler, he would
Hi,
throw
what's up, bro?
tantrums and bang his head on the floor
I think
for
it's
no
both.
reason. Later on, psychiatrists would diagnose him with intermittent explosive disorder, a mental problem causing sufferers to be violent and unpredictable. Add to the fact that Eric was often bullied at school, and the boy became a ticking time bomb.
You recommended
On
some.
August
Is this
2nd,
not the video
1983,
you wanted us
the
to
bomb
watch?
exploded.
Something different? I swear, this is the only one that pops up.
Do you have the link right on you? If you have
I
that-
don't. He's not mod, so he can't.
Well,
Send the
yeah,
link.
but I can still see it.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
just hide it and unview it.
All right.
If you have the link, we'll just use that.
Yo, brother Jack, what's up, Tyler? Y'all
You're
weird?
talking, Libby.
Yeah, for real. No, this is correct? Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Summer camp had started, and 4-year-old Derek Robbie was walking to the park where the camp was held. It was only 2 blocks away from his home, with no streets to cross. Eric chanced upon Derek walking alone, and he lured him into the nearby woods, explaining there was a shortcut. Without warning, Eric...
Dude, I've actually watched like a TV show or a movie or something like that where it's like based off of this, actually.
Really?
Yeah, like straight up. I've actually heard of this before. This is actually wicked
I've
messed up.
seen him before, so.
Yeah, maybe.
It was probably just the mirror, honestly, but.
began strangling
I
the
actually heard
little
of
boy
this.
until he
I've
fell to the
seen him
ground
on the
unconscious.
news before or something.
He then proceeded to pick up 2 large rocks, one after the other, and slam them into his head, resulting in the death of young Derek.
Yeah, like the show that I watched though is like a bunch of like kids were like dying like this as well, and they couldn't figure it out, and then they actually come to find out it's like, you know, like a younger kid leading the kids in there and like murdering all of them.
Mm.
So
Eric proceeded to undress the boy and sodomize him with a tree branch. He rifled
What?
through his lunch bag,
Sodomize?
smashed a
What's that?
banana, and dumped red Kool-Aid over his mutilated face.
oh, cool.
By 11 a.m., Derek's mother, Doreen, arrived at the
It's
park to
sodomized,
pick up her
just cutting
son,
up.
but was told he didn't arrive.
Or
Shortly
beating,
after,
at
a
least.
search operation was underway, and Derek's body was found. 4 days after this, Eric Smith walked into the police station and offered his help with the case. He gave information and asked questions in a somewhat gleeful way. The investigator didn't think much more of it, as it seemed simply like a child who wanted to play cop. That is, until he mentioned seeing Derek from across the street in an open field, which placed him at the crime scene.
Oh, gosh.
Eric was also able to describe Derek's clothes, including the lunch bag he had in his hand that day. 7 days after the murder, Smith confessed to killing Derek. He received a maximum jail sentence of 9 years to life, with parole eligibility every 2 years after the first 9 years. He's been denied.
Oh, if you
every
need that,
parole
just go to
hearing and
Drake.
remains incarcerated
Draco
to this day.
Destructo, bro. He'll tell you anything you need.
Drake, we'll check that out after this one,
Number
and then
4,
we'll end the stream
Christopher
after that.
Pittman. It was 2001,
12 years
and at
old
just
and
12
killing
years
someone.
old, Christopher
Imagine that,
Pittman
dude.
was already getting into so much trouble
He
that
must
he
have had a
decided
gun
to
on
run
him
away
or
from
something.
home. When he was caught, he was placed in an
nobody died
institutional
of something
facility
like
and given
that.
the antidepressant drug Paxil.
He was
He was then shuffled.
freaking medicated at 5 years old. That's awful. Like, clearly this guy has some issues because he's like, he killed someone when he's 12, but like, that's a crazy issue we deal with. It's like over medicating everyone, bro.
Off to live with his grandparents, and with the new town and new home, there came a new doctor too. The Paxil was working for Chris, but wasn't available, so
Just
his
want
new
me to
doctor
frickin' murder
prescribed
them.
Zoloft instead.
Oh, they're just
Zoloft
chill
is
with
known
it.
to
They're
induce
like,
various
get me out
side
of this
effects in
world.
children, including aggression, hallucinations, depression, and delusions. Soon after the switch, Christopher began experiencing severe side effects, including a burning sensation
Dang,
all
so
over
he
his
switched
body.
medications, and
It
that's
got
why.
so bad he required additional pain medication.
That's not Untitled Jackson.
After his
Once someone
grandparents
over.
complained that he still
Bonus
felt
points,
the side
bro.
effects,
Heck yeah.
oddly, his Zoloft dosage was increased from 100 milligrams each day to 200 milligrams.
Dang, dude.
Christopher's behavior
Like,
started becoming more
I've been doing
erratic.
math since
He
3.
ended up choking a fellow student after an argument on the bus. Later, he disturbed the individual playing piano inside.
Hold up,
his-
guys. This is my little bit. Please like up the stream. We're at 27 likes, dude. What the freak? Thank you, guys. I love you.
That
28,
night,
bro.
he got into
Hey.
a fight with his grandfather and received a spanking. Mad
We
with
received
rage,
a
he marched inside his
spanking.
grandparents'
We
bedroom,
tapped that.
took out the shotgun, which he had been taught to use, and shot both his grandparents.
Yep, you called
Using
it.
paper and
JJ,
candles, he
do
then
you know this kid? Probably had a gun. Before we even watched this guy. Yo. Yo.
the
Actually,
house
my
on
brother.
fire. He took his grandparents' car, their guns,
What the
his dog,
freak?
and $33
You see that thing?
and left.
Dude, we gotta shut that
Eventually
window all
picked
the
up
way,
by
actually.
police
Is it
later
not
that night.
shut all
He
No,
told them
no.
he had been kidnapped by a
cracked, you see
man who
it?
killed his
Just push it.
grandparents.
All the
After
way up.
intense questioning, he eventually confessed to his crimes and even
Like,
added
use
that
your,
his
go
grandparents
go
deserved
down,
what
like,
they
on the
got.
actual window part. And then, like,
His
use your
trial
hands like
centered on
that
the
and push it
controversial
up.
drug Zoloft and the effects it had on children. The doctor
There
who
you go,
doubled
nice,
his
nice, nice.
dosage was never charged for any crime.
I love your reaction
Currently,
already, guys.
Christopher Pittman is still
Thank you. I do have a reaction channel. I could just clip this whole entire stream and make it in different videos, honestly.
incarcerated and serving a 30
It's my
year
second
to
channel.
life
If you go to
sentence.
my, like, if you tap on my profile picture on this channel and you go to my
Number
homepage,
3,
you swipe
Joshua
down, it'll be my
Phillips.
second channel.
It was November 3rd, 1998,
Jackie
and
reacts.
8-year-old Maddie Clifton had disappeared. Police and volunteers searched dumpsters in the surrounding woods near her home, hoping to find some sort of clue for her whereabouts.
Got him.
What they didn't know was that Maddie was right across the street from her house the whole time, stuffed underneath a waterbed inside her friend and playmate, 14-year-old Joshua Phillips' bedroom. Josh had no history of violence. He claimed that one afternoon Maddie came over and invited him to play baseball. Maddie threw the ball, and he hit it, sending it back at her, accidentally hitting her in the eye, causing her to bleed. Panicked, Josh
Thanks, I
brought her
will.
inside his house.
Thanks, bro.
Josh's abusive father had a strict no visitors policy, and afraid of what his reaction would be if he found her
Abusive father, see? That's what we call it, bro.
inside. He dragged
Parents
Maddie into his bedroom
create
and
these
proceeded to
kids.
strangle her with a phone cord for 15 minutes. Afterwards, he hit her with the baseball bat and then stabbed her 11 times.
Oh my
There was no
gosh.
evidence of sexual assault, but
Overkill.
Maddie's body was found naked from the waist down. By the time his father had come home, Josh had stuffed Maddie's body underneath his waterbed mattress, and there it sat for several days decomposing.
Several
Police
days
began the
stink,
search
bro.
party,
Oh,
and after
yeah.
days of turning up empty, they decided to call it off. 7 days after Maddie's disappearance, Josh's mom, Missy Phillips, was cleaning his bedroom when she noticed a wet spot on the floor and thought his waterbed was leaking. She lifted up the mattress to try and locate the leak, and that's when she discovered Maddie's body. In horror, she ran next door and called the police.
Oh, dude, I don't
Josh
like this
was
one.
arrested in school that day. He confessed to killing Maddie, explaining the fear of his abusive father's reaction as the motive for murdering the little girl. In 1999, Joshua Phillips was convicted of first-degree murder and was sentenced to life in prison without the eligibility for parole.
Oh, dude, it just went through my freaking fingers.
Number 2, Cindy and Shirley.
Dude, that case, that's bad.
15-year-old
I
Cindy
don't like
Collier and 14-year-old Shirley Wolf
Tag
had a
team
history
action?
of abuse and run-ins with the law. Cindy was abused her whole life.
Dynamic
and raped
duo go
before she turned
crazy.
20. By the time she was 15, her rap sheet included theft, burglary, drug abuse, and assault. Shirley also had a similar disruptive past. Her own father, uncle, and paternal grandfather had sexually abused her
looking
from
good
the
with
time
the
she was an
lighting.
infant. By the time she was 6, she ran away from home several times until eventually authorities took notice and her father was arrested for the abuse. After he was convicted, she was sent into various foster homes and detention centers. After meeting only 8 hours before at a bus stop, the girls bonded over their mutual life circumstances and decided they would run away together. They spent time hatching a plan, which involved killing a stranger, then stealing their
They
car.
don't even know each other. They just ran away
Both
together.
girls dyed their hair as a
Please put
feeble
something else
attempt
on,
at
please.
disguising
Dude, this
themselves
is
and run
interesting.
around Cindy's old neighborhood, Auburn Greens in California. They began knocking on
Let's go to
doors,
what's up,
and
Cyber.
while the majority didn't let them inside their home, finally, one elderly woman did. Anna Brackett, an 85-year-old with grandkids of her own, allowed them in. The girls asked to use the phone, and they chatted with the victim for about an hour. At some point, Anna answered a phone call from her son, who was en route to drive her off to a bingo game. Knowing they had
It's
little
actually
time,
disturbing
the girls
facts.
attacked. Cindy grabbed a knife, tossed it to Shirley, who immediately began stabbing Brackett in the back over and over again. Anna begged for her life, but the girls kept going until she was dead. After the kill, the girls ransacked the place, looked for cash, and grabbed 2 keys from the counter. The keys they took were the wrong ones for the 1970 Dodge in the garage, and so the girls ran on foot near Highway 49. Oddly enough, Carl Brackett, the son of the victim, saw the 2 girls while he was on his way to his mother's home. Once he got there, he discovered the grisly scene. Eyewitnesses eventually came forward, which led to the girls becoming suspects. Once confronted by police, Shirley immediately admitted to the crime, while Cindy didn't say anything. During interrogation, Cindy was confronted with Shirley's confession, and she began to laugh. She then said, "To honestly tell you the truth, we didn't feel any badness. Then after we did it, we wanted to do another one. We just wanted to kill someone, just for fun."
That's actually wicked.
Both
messed
girls
up.
were
Yeah, they need
convicted
to go
of the
play
crime,
games.
with Cindy serving the
people there.
maximum of 9 years for a juvenile.
Honestly, dude.
She was then
Get on
paroled in
Warzone.
1992 and has had no further run-ins with the law. As for Wolf, she was freed on June 30th, 1995, and has been arrested several times since for petty crimes. Number
people
1,
learn their lessons.
Tyler Hadley.
Honestly. You get
July
sent to, like, those
16th,
maximum,
2011. Everyone at school could tell it was
whatever
going to
they're
be a
called,
big
maximum
party.
security jails or whatever.
17-year-old Tyler Hadley from Port St. Lucie,
They're also
Florida,
kids, though,
kept
so
telling
it's
his
like, what do you
friends
do
he'd
in a
be throwing
situation
rager,
like that? You
and
want
no
to try
one
to,
thought it would
like,
happen.
release them out into
He'd
the
be
world
getting
since
in
they're
trouble
kids, but, like,
lately.
also at the
Yeah.
same time, they kill people.
Have you seen those ones where it's like a bunch of kids get taken to jail and like they see what jail's like and all the
Scared Straight or whatever?
Yeah, Scared Straight.
Yep.
Yeah. We should
I
watch
actually-
one of those.
We actually should. That's actually a good
Yeah.
idea. We could watch one of those. But yeah, dude, I feel like you should focus on, like, fixing them, like, mentally, you know what I mean?
His parents were being extra strict with him, but Tyler had no intentions of letting his parents get in the way of his fun. Around 5 p.m., several hours before the party, Tyler popped some ecstasy, grabbed a hammer from the
Yeah,
garage,
X-Games mode.
and marched inside his family room where his
Like a
mom,
Mitsubishi
Mary Jo, was
logo.
on the computer working. Tyler stood behind her, and as she turned to face him, he struck her on top of the
Wait,
head.
is that his mom?
Hearing her screams, Tyler's dad, Blake, came rushing into the room.
Killed his mom?
When
And
Blake
his dad.
asked why he was doing this, Tyler's only reply was, "Why the hell not?" He then bludgeoned his father to death, finished off his mother, and dragged their bodies to their bedroom, where he began piling clothes and furniture on top of them. He locked the bedroom door and cleaned for about 3 hours, just in time for his guests to arrive. By 11 p.m., the party was in full swing. Close to 60 kids were inside the house that night. They
cops
were
are
playing
gonna show
beer
up 'cause
pong,
noise complaints.
stubbing cigarettes everywhere,
And they're gonna
smashing
find
bottles,
bodies,
and
kids gonna
trashing
get
the
arrested.
house. A few of them later recalled sitting down at the computer, taking turns playing songs on YouTube, and noticing a brown, sticky substance, which they assumed to be Coke or beer. Later on, it was found to be Mary Jo's blood, which Tyler had tried
Oh.
to get rid of using coffee granules.
That's
The party kept going
fucking
while
messed up.
Tyler's behavior bobbed from panicky to gleeful. At some point, he told his best friend what happened, detailing how he killed his parents, even showing him a bloody footprint in the garage before ultimately revealing their bodies in the bedroom. By 4:40 a.m., the police arrived. His friend Michael Mandel had called Crime Stoppers to report the murder, and Tyler was arrested when the police discovered the horrifying sight. Tyler's explanations for the crime varied. First, he blamed medications he was taking, then said his father was not his real dad, and insinuated he was physically abusive. Neither of these were true. Finally, he admitted that it was because he wanted to throw a party, but knew his parents would object to it.
Okay.
Tyler Hadley was
that's
originally
fine.
charged
Yeah.
with first-degree murder and sentenced to life with no chance of parole.
Yeah.
But as of 2016, his case will be open for resentencing due to the Supreme Court 2012 ruling that barred minors from receiving life imprisonment without parole.
I don't know that.
So those were the top 5 most horrifying.
That's actually freaky though. That's actually weird.
What was the other one?
We could watch the Scared Straight.
Yeah, we can do that.
I believe that was the last one.
Oh, no, Drake's.
Oh, okay. Japan, what's it?
Mind Control Killer. The shocking story of, yep, that one.
Alright, let's do it.
And then we'll watch Scared Straight.
And then, yeah, then we'll play some Warzone or Apex, whatever.
Probably Apex.
Bet.
Sir, there's a lot of bleeding.
I might stream that.
Yeah, you should. And on Parents for a Party? Actually awful.
I'm gonna need you to set up the Wi-Fi though on the computer and PlayStation.
Yeah. Dude, this one's gonna be scary too, AJ. Not like necessarily scary, just like disturbing, you know?
It happened, it just came out of nowhere. A bus, he was speeding and he...
That's definitely Japanese.
Yeah. This video is 23 minutes. Holy crap.
It's fine, you've only been live for an hour.
True.
Japan. An idolized place. Home to amazing food, gorgeous sights, trains that actually run on time, and yours truly.
Never tried
the
it.
land
I
of the
don't
rising
like
sun.
seafood, so not really.
Yeah,
But with their
same
sun, there are shadows, and this quirky little island nation has
Throw some
more than
balls
its
at
fair
it.
share of dark
Dude,
stories to
that
tell.
stuff just makes me like feel weird.
Thanks
You
in
know?
part to true crime YouTubers, many of Japan's most shocking cases have been introduced to Western audiences. Cases like the slaying of Junko Furuta and the Setagaya family massacre.
I think I
There
know
is
about
one
those
case,
cases.
however, that I've never seen any other YouTuber talk about before.
Yeah,
A
same.
case that was considered so atrocious at the time it happened that many Japanese media outlets refused to report on the details of it.
Dang.
Even so, whenever I ask my friends here in Japan who the country's most prolific killer is, one name always comes up. Futoshi Matsunaga,
That stuff makes you
aka
paranoid
the
sometimes.
mind control serial killer.
Yeah.
A man so evil that even with the media actively shying away from his case, he somehow became a household name anyway. Between the years of 1996 and 1998,
Burger
he
King
claimed the lives
foot
of at least
lettuce.
7 people. No, the exact
We need
number
him to
remains
narrate
unknown.
all of these types of
But
videos.
what makes this case so shocking,
I
and
killed it.
frankly
Only took
intriguing,
3 hits.
is how Futoshi was able to manipulate others
Smack,
around him
smack,
to do his
smack.
bidding. It's the kind of story that makes you realize the consequences of misplacing your trust. But you can believe Papa Lazy when I say that this story gets wild. So
It
go
gets
ahead and make yourself a
wild.
cup of tea.
I mean,
Close the
AJ, you're
curtains
pretty
and snuggle up,
young, right? I don't
because we're
really
about
blame
to
you for
delve
not wanting
into
to
the
watch
dark
it.
story
Yeah, that's fair,
of
bro.
Japan's mind control killer, Futoshi Matsunaga. Fukuoka, Japan's
Background
6th
of
largest
any
city,
mods.
located on the nation's southernmost main island, Kyushu. Home to some of the country's best cuisine, most famous sights, and largest Yakuza syndicates. It's a dynamic metropolis with a rich history.
Tourist.
So we don't have to look too far back into Fukuoka's
We're going,
past
AJ.
to hear the story about her most notorious son.
Hi AJ, thanks
Born
for
on
stopping
April
by, bro.
28, 1961, Futoshi Matsunaga was a bright child who made good grades.
1960.
But more impressive than his academic abilities were his social skills. Ask anyone who knew him growing up, and they'll tell you that Futoshi was a real smooth talker, even at a young age. He made friends with ease, regularly got his own way thanks to his silver tongue, and, as he got older, was able to charm the pants off pretty much any woman who took his fancy. Surrounded by shy classmates,
My boy was getting
Futoshi
played.
stood out as a charismatic extrovert and basically made an impression on everyone he met. That
So, like,
impression
the-
wasn't always good, however.
A person that everyone wishes they are.
Being easy
Yeah.
to Futoshi, following the rules didn't. At school,
like
his quick wit and
BMC.
short temper meant that he'd
He's like
often
the
talk back at
perfect
teachers
person.
whenever they tried to discipline him for being overly loud or causing trouble. Most people put that down to him being an excitable lad with too much energy. Little did anyone realize that behind that cheeky twinkle in Futoshi's eyes was a rotten soul,
They're good.
if any soul at all. You see, Futoshi was a psychopath. That in itself isn't so unusual. Approximately 1% of the general population are clinically psychopathic, meaning they find it very difficult, or even impossible to feel remorse or empathy. Being remorseless, self-serving, charismatic, and intelligent, Futoshi quickly learned how to become a master manipulator, and he had no intention of using his powers for good.
Honestly, though, like, not everyone's gonna care for everyone, you know what I mean?
Like, if I just see some random person die, I really don't care.
I don't
mean,
care
like,
either.
I'm sorry for the family, but, like, it ain't my problem.
Exactly, dude. Like,
I didn't just see him get murdered.
You don't know him, and it doesn't affect you at all.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah, I wonder where you get that stat from, too, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
you just ask everyone, hey, are you a psychopath?
Honestly, dude. Yeah, just do an online survey. Are you a psychopath?
Have everyone just answers yes?
Yeah, honestly, dude.
Futoshi got married at the young age of 19 and had a child with his wife, but his skill with women and lack of morals meant that he didn't stay faithful for long. He reportedly had 10 mistresses, one of whom was Junko Ogata, a kindergarten teacher and an old classmate of Futoshi's from his school days. The pair began secretly dating in 1982, and Futoshi likely kept her around because Junko was easy to control, both mentally and physically.
Dang, he's straight up manipulator, bro.
During their early days of seeing each other, Junko turned from a polite, happy, hard-working young lady into an emotionless shell of her former self. Despite being particular...
You're telling me this guy is the one who gets all the ladies, bro?
Yeah, he's probably tall. Everyone's short over there.
True. Dude, you're almost 6 feet, bro. If you went over there, you could get played. Imagine Daniel.
Bro.
Dude,
tall,
black.
You gotta remember, they're all white. I don't think there's black people over there, so I feel like they got a little bit of racism to them.
Honestly, that is a straight up thing, though. Like, if you don't see a lot of that, it's...
You feel weird around them.
That's true. There are some black Asian people, but it's not common at all.
No.
He cruel to Junko. She couldn't seem to break out of the spell that
dude, if
Futoshi
you're
had
tall
her
and you're Asian over in Japan, you were getting...
She kept Junko loyal to him by promising to one day marry her. There was a problem with that, though. Junko's mother, Shizumi, despised Futoshi. Shizumi knew that he treated her daughter badly and told Junko that she would never approve of their marriage. This infuriated Futoshi, so one day he went alone to Shizumi's house, forced his way inside, and forced himself on top of her. He then did unspeakable things. After all that, he was somehow able to convince Junko that her family hated her and manipulated her into moving out of her family home and into his apartment. He told her that he'd left his wife and that they no longer had to keep their relationship a secret. After hearing that, Junko agreed to move in with him. Like always, Futoshi had gotten what he wanted. In this case, an accomplice for his upcoming plans. In 1985, Futoshi set up an antiques business called The Wall.
Serial killers.
He hired several employees to work there, and got his tips by sneaking up behind them on the soundproofed third floor and giving them electric shocks with his favorite toy, a stun gun. Obviously, Futoshi didn't take his employees' well-being or his work too seriously. That's because the store was all a front. The young Futoshi, who at this point was only 24 years old, had already amassed a huge fortune of about 180 million yen. That's
a lot of money.
$2.2 million US.
What's the...
$2 million US.
Really?
Said, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Stuff is really cheap.
Had he made all that money through honest hard work? Of course not. He'd been defrauding and blackmailing the local residents, tricking them or forcing them out of their hard-earned cash.
Well, he is smart.
In 1992, the authorities finally caught notice. The jig was up,
we'd like to
and
talk
Futoshi
about your
and
PC.
Junko were added to Japan's most wanted list.
Take lessons from this guy. He's doing it in the
They abandoned their
70s.
apartment and went on the run. That was all well and good for Futoshi.
Out there teaching.
He'd swindled the Yakuza multiple
their
times in
idol.
the past, and was used to fleeing for his life. Compared to them, the cops chasing him were just a nuisance. And even if they did get their hands on him, Futoshi was convinced he could smooth talk his way out of anything. Yeah, the guy had a massive ego.
That's what gets most people
In
calm.
April 1993,
Especially
while
these
still on the
serial
run,
killers, too.
Futoshi met a married woman with 3 children in Kitakyushu.
Crap, bro. Bugs.
This
Honest
woman
psycho
fell
seems to be
helplessly in
smart,
love with the
facts.
handsome conman. He convinced her that Junko was merely his sister, and then asked the married woman to leave her husband and run away with him. Well,
So a different
that's
lady?
exactly what the woman did, and she brought her 3 children along for the ride.
Gosh.
5 months later in September, one of those 3 children died under mysterious circumstances. The other 2 were sent to live with their father shortly after. In March 1994, that woman herself also mysteriously died. It later came to light that during their 11-month love affair, Futoshi had defrauded the woman of almost 12 million yen, around $145,000.
Dang, these games.
Though it was never conclusively proven that Futoshi was responsible for her death and that of her child's, many now believe that this was his first taste of blood.
Probably.
Now this is where things start getting really messed up. Futoshi and Junko's next victim was a young father, Kumio Toreya. While still living in Kitakyushu, Futoshi befriended Kumio during a night on the town and quickly gained his trust.
I believe I've actually heard of something like this before. There's a Netflix show on this, and it's like this guy who like sells like diamonds and jewels and all that stuff, and he like has like a girl, and they like straight up kill people together.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of that show? Yeah, I watched it. It's a pretty newer show. It's alright.
Kumio then
It gets a little
confided
weird and
about his shady
confusing.
past, how he owed money to some bad characters, and that they were still out looking for him. This was a secret that Kumio hadn't told anyone. Well, telling Futoshi turned out to be a fatal mistake. Futoshi used this information to blackmail Kumio, threatening to reveal his secret if he didn't do exactly what he was told. Futoshi said that he was going to move into Kumio's apartment, an apartment which Kumio shared with his daughter. Kumio reluctantly agreed. Since Kumio's daughter's name has never been revealed to the public, we'll call her Tokume. Futoshi and Junko arrived at Kumio and Tokume's home. From then on, the father and daughter were held prisoner inside their own condominium. Futoshi kept Kumio bound up and forced Tokume to administer electrical shocks all over his body, bite him, punch him, feed him his own excrement.
Oh.
If either Kumio or Tokume resisted, they'd both get shot. During the winter, he'd lock them both inside the freezing cold bathroom and have Junko spray ice-cold water down on them for his own amusement. They were given only scraps to eat. This torture continued for 2 years, during which time both Kumio and Tokume never left their apartment. Kumio finally died of shock on February 26, 1996. He was just 34 years old. Futoshi told Tokume that she had just killed her own daddy, and that it was now her responsibility to get rid of his remains. Together, they chopped him up and boiled him in a pot in the kitchen. Sickening, Futoshi even forced Tokume to drink the human broth made from her own father. The neighbors complained about the sound of a power saw
From her
and foul
father,
smells emanating
too.
from Kumio's apartment that night, but never reported anything.
Well, actually, no. If it's
Under
Japan,
cover
she
of
might be
darkness,
like
both
20.
Tokume and Junko then
She got
pulverized
married
the
over
rest of
there at
Kumio's
16.
remains,
Oh, really?
dragged him out to the Kunosaki Peninsula, hauled him aboard a ferry,
They normally
and tossed
find
him
who
into
they're
the
gonna
sea.
marry at like the age of 14.
Tokume was then taken
younger
back to
sometimes.
Futoshi's apartment and would remain under his control for another 6 years.
8 years.
All
she was
three
with him.
continued to live together and called themselves the Hashimoto family as a cover. Though
That's
Futoshi
insane.
allowed Junko to go off into town by herself to shop and work, Tokume wasn't allowed to leave the apartment without him. Now, with 2 female henchmen working for him, Futoshi set his sights on a new victim, one of Kumio's female acquaintances. Much like before, he convinced this woman that Junko was his sister, that Tokume was his niece, and that he graduated from the
He's not
prestigious
raped,
Kyoto
though.
University.
Probably.
Over
That's
time,
messed
he
up.
gained this new woman's trust, and, like with Junko, promised to one day marry her. Of course, he had no intention of
Telling
ever
a girl,
doing so,
"I'm gonna marry
and
you."
instead
There
cheated
she
her out of
obsessed.
5.6 million yen. He also
So
kept
much
the new
money.
woman
He's
and
finding
her
these
daughter
girls that are
confined to their
rich.
apartment, routinely shocking them and forcing them to do all manner of unspeakable
70K.
things.
Dang.
After months of torment, this woman finally escaped in
savings,
March
though.
1997
That's
by
pretty
jumping out of the
solid.
window on her second floor. By the time the police arrived at their apartment, Futoshi, Junko, and Tokume were long gone. Now this has all been pretty dark so far, but Futoshi was just getting started. He planned to
Just
continue
getting
conning and
started.
killing his way across Kyushu, claiming as many yen and lives as he pleased. With his skills in coercion, He knew that he had never run out of victims, nor would he ever get caught. Junko, on the other hand, wanted out. Futoshi's spell over her was wearing off, and she was finally starting to think,
Act on
hey,
Hulu? Maybe that's what it is
Futoshi fella
called.
might not be so swell after all.
I watched it on Netflix, though.
So, in April 1997, she left Futoshi's apartment for work that morning and didn't come back.
Fall?
I don't... Oh, man, I
She'd
forget
done.
the name of it.
Yeah, The Fall.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. The act
She was
kind of
free.
sounds familiar.
But Futoshi had no intention of letting her go and live a normal life. She knew too much. But more than that, she was his property, his puppet, and he refused to cut her strings.
Dude, the ad just ruins the whole momentum.
I'm Joshua Hagan, owner of Grizzly Auto Detailing. When you choose Grizzly, you choose...
When you choose Grizzly.
Relinquishing control
Big
was
detailer.
not the Futoshi way. When she didn't come home that day, he called her family. But of course, her mother, Shizumi, refused to tell him where Junko was. She wasn't at home, of course. She was somewhere in hiding. Futoshi tried to blackmail Shizumi into telling him, saying that Junko was a murderer, and that he'd happily bring that fact to the attention of the authorities. Shizumi stood her ground, and refused to tell him where her daughter was. So, the crafty Futoshi laid an elaborate trap. He released information that he had taken his own life, and even staged a fake funeral.
Wow.
From there, he became a ghost.
This guy's elaborate.
This was all enough to convince Junko that he really was dead. Believing things were now over, she finally felt safe enough to return home to her parents. Big mistake.
Dead.
Futoshi went to Junko's family home, bringing Tokome, his unwilling lackey, with him. When they opened the door, he revealed that he was back from the dead, and demanded appeasement. Junko's family offered to pay him 63 million yen if he agreed to just leave them alone. He said that he would, and took their money, but he didn't keep his side of the bargain. Instead, he held them captive inside their own home, and began to work his mind-controlling magic once more.
Oh gosh, dude, this is actually starting to pick up.
Trapped inside the home with Futoshi were Junko, her parents, Shizumi and Takashige, her sister, Reiko, Reiko's husband, Kazuya, their children, Aya and Yuki, and, of course, the young Tokome. He kept them all bound most of the time to prevent them from escaping. What happened next is almost unbelievable. Despite effectively being his hostages, almost all of Junko's family became captivated with Futoshi, who somehow managed to psychologically control them. He used methods similar to that of Shoko Asahara, the former leader of Aum Shinrikyo, and was able to influence their thoughts and gain their loyalty. While locked inside with him, Reiko and Kazuya, Junko's sister and her husband, both began to view Futoshi as a prophet-like figure. If ever there was a case of Stockholm Syndrome, it was here. Futoshi even managed to woo Reiko right in front of Kazuya. Kazuya was so enamored with Futoshi that he didn't seem to mind. Reiko and Kazuya's son and daughter, Yuki and Aya, also began to idolize their captor.
That's really
Futoshi
weird.
was now the head of his own personal cult. However, after he had drained all of their bank accounts, the conman had little use for followers. Instead of letting them go, however, he decided to have a little fun with his prisoners.
A little fun.
On December 21st,
I killed him.
5 months into holding the family captive, Futoshi decided that Junko's 61-year-old father, Takashige, had outlived his worth. He decided it was time to get rid of the
in
old
Japan,
project.
that's actually pretty old.
As we've already learned, Futoshi didn't like to get his own hands dirty. So, instead, he ordered Junko to dispose of her dear papa. Tied up on the floor, there was little Takashige could do to save himself. Junko slowly administered electric shocks all over his body until his heart finally gave out.
What's up with this guy in
Futoshi
shocks?
watched this with great pleasure. Next up was Junko's mother, Shizumi. All of the torment thus far had really gotten to the poor lady, and the loss of her husband had finally sent her over the edge. In January of 1998, she started speaking in strange voices, and appeared to have completely lost her mind. Annoyed by the old woman, Futoshi ordered his 2 most loyal subjects, Reiko and Kazuya, to slay Shizumi. One held her down, the other strangled her. With both of Junko and Reiko's parents now out of the picture, their lives claimed by their own daughters, the captive group became much more manageable. Still, the carnage continued. Several weeks after Shizumi was killed, Futoshi ordered Kazuya to kill Reiko. Their daughter, Aya, held her down, while Kazuya squeezed the life out of his own wife. Immediately afterwards, Futoshi and Junko locked Kazuya inside a bathroom and never let him out again. He survived for a while by drinking toilet water, but starved 2 months later in mid-April.
Not have a sink?
Junko and Aya were then told to electrocute Yuki.
Maybe the water
was then made to strangle
the water
Aya.
bill isn't paid. This man is
One by
pure
one.
evil. Facts. How do you go 2 months without eating food, though?
They're probably fed.
No, that guy, he was locked in the bathroom and said 2 months later he died.
No,
from
he said he survived 2 weeks.
Oh.
The family had fallen.
That makes sense.
And by June of 1998, the
How
only
long is
people
this
left alive
video?
inside the house were Junko,
You've got
Tokame, and
5
Futoshi,
minutes left.
the original trio.
This is probably the last people
All
he was
three of
able
them
to kill.
dismembered the bodies of Junko's slain family members,
Yeah.
boiled them in pots, and dumped them in public bathrooms and the sea. For a long time, the complete disappearance of the Ogata family went unnoticed. Futoshi and Junko had seemingly gotten away with everything, and continued to hold Tokame captive as they travelled around Kyushu, scamming other unsuspecting people out of their life savings. Futoshi even managed to coerce a woman into giving him her 2 sons, alongside 20 million yen. It wouldn't be until January 20th, 2002, a full 8 years after she'd first
Pretty
been taken
solid.
captive, that Tokame was finally able to escape. Sadly, Futoshi soon caught up with her
Looks good,
and took her back to his
Yeah,
apartment.
man, it really does.
As punishment, Futoshi shocked her, while Junko ripped off her toenails
Was yours
one by
the
one.
5-minute one, McDonald's?
On the 6th of March, Tokame
Yeah,
escaped yet
it
again,
was.
and this
5
time
scariest
managed to
serial
elude
killers?
Futoshi and
Yeah.
Junko.
We'll watch that one. And we'll probably just end
The
it
young
there.
Tokame,
Yeah.
now 17, ran straight to the police station and told them everything.
Oh, shoot.
Futoshi and Junko were found and arrested the following day. The aforementioned woman's 2 sons, along with 2 other boys, who turned out to be Futoshi and Junko's own sons, were found locked away in a separate apartment. Despite her involvement in all of this chaos, Tokame was of course not charged with anything. She
Oh,
was young.
Shrek, that video.
She'd been forced to
Yeah.
do what she had done. She'd been held against her will. And ultimately,
That is
she was
straight
the
up
one.
pretty messed up, though.
Right here. Serial killers. No, just wait. Yeah, Mike, that one. Yeah, by Shane.
Shane.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Shane
My name is
Dawson.
Destry, and welcome back to another What the Fuck 5. So for today's list, we'll be talking about a very interesting topic to me, and that is serial killers. Ever since I was about 13, I just thought serial killers were super creepy, super terrifying. So for today's list, we'll be going over the 5 most terrifying serial killers to ever exist. Also, just for warning you guys, there will be a lot of creepy details and pictures in this video, so, you know, just in case you get bothered by that kind of stuff, but let's get into it. Number 1, Ed Gein. Apart from being fantastic scary movies, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Psycho, and The Silence of the Lambs also have another thing in common. They're all based off the real-life account of Ed Gein, who was a prolific serial killer
Yeah,
in
I've
the
seen those movies, have you?
1940s. A man who was known around the town of Plainsfield, Wisconsin as the Handyman, no one could have guessed that in his spare time, he was dismembering women's bodies to create a woman's suit that looks like his
Yeah,
late mother,
I've
so he
heard
could
of those.
literally crawl inside her skin. What started as grave robbing quickly turned into the murder and dismembering of local women, which he decapitated and made them into furniture around his house. When police searched his home in 1957, they
Yeah.
discovered bowls made of human skulls, a belt made of human nipples, several decapitated heads he wore as masks, and a lampshade made from a face. Ed Gein spent the rest of his life in an insane asylum where he died from cancer in 1984. Number 2, John Wayne Gacy. An especially terrifying killer, John Wayne Gacy was dubbed the name the Killer
Heard
Clown,
of him
as his
too.
day job was to be a clown that entertained
was it,
children
Drake
at
School?
birthday parties. Okay, I'm already terrified enough of normal clowns, but a clown that kills people? Fuck no.
I don't like clowns
Nope.
either.
Nope. Nope. But between the years of 1972 and 1978, Gacy killed more than 33 young boys and men, which he lured to his home and proceeded to rape, asphyxiate, and finally murder them. When he was caught in 1980, police found 26 dead bodies in the crawl space of his home, the youngest identified victim being only 10 years old. Gacy was sentenced to death in 1980, where he then spent 14 years on death row before being put to death by lethal injection in 1994. Number 3, Javad Iqbal. A Pakistani killer, Javad Iqbal killed more than 100 children ranging from the age from 6 to 16.
I know it sounds messed up, but I bet you it's pretty easy to kill people in Pakistan or whatever.
It really is.
I bet
they don't really have law enforcement.
Yeah. 100?
They do, but it's not very good.
Yeah.
He claimed to have strangled and dismembered all of the victims before dissolving them in hydrochloric acid and dumping them in the sewer.
Clearly
he was
he's
later caught by the authorities in 1999 because he kept the children's clothing, which he hung around his house as a trophy. Also in his home, several bloodstains could be seen on the walls, as well as photographs of his victims being trapped inside plastic bags. Iqbal was sentenced to death by hanging, with the judge who passed his sentence saying, "You will be strangled to death in front of the parents whose children you killed. Your body will be cut up into 100 pieces and put in acid, the same way you killed the children." Fuck. Pakistan does not mess around, Jesus Christ. Number 4, Henry Howard Holmes. A man with a mustache almost as legendary as his crimes. Considered to be America's first serial killer, Holmes built what is referred to as the Chicago Murder Castle in 1893. What used to be a pharmacy, Holmes turned into a hotel where he would rent rooms to people as a trap to lure them into a place where he could kill them. In some of the rooms, he constructed various death traps, and in the basement was a torture chamber where he would cut up and burn the bodies. That just fucks me up. Like, imagine you're in a hotel just, wanting to rent a room and you have no idea that it's all just an elaborate fucking plan to get you killed. Fuck no.
That's straight evil.
Nope. Nope.
This bit again.
Also, the entire Saw series was inspired by the death traps Holmes would construct, and what's also interesting is that some people believe that Holmes could in fact be a prime suspect for the Jack the Ripper killings in London, as Holmes was also in London during the same time. Holmes was also fascinated by the female anatomy, which could explain why Jack the Ripper cut out women's uteruses. Uteri? Uteruses? I don't know, one of those. While only being charged with 29 murders, it was suspected that it could have been as high as 200. Finally, at number 5 is Richard Trenton Chase. Also known as the Vampire of Sacramento, Richard Trenton Chase may be easily the most fucked up out of all the people on this list. And while you may think of a vampire as a sparkly dickhole with poor taste in women, Chase is far from a character. A man who spent time in a mental hospital for tracking down animals and eating them alive soon escalated into killing people, drinking their blood, and eating their body parts. He also admitted to making people smoothies by grinding up body parts and drinking it with Coca-Cola. Fuck, there's a good ad for Coke. Coke! It's so good it makes body parts taste good. Chase also apparently would fill bathtubs full of his victims' blood and bathe in it while masturbating. The fuck? When he was finally caught, he admitted to killing 6 people in this fashion and was sentenced to death. Before being put to the electric chair, however, he took his own life in a prison cell. Well, I'm sufficiently creeped out. Might have helped if I didn't include this creepy music in the background, but this is a video about serial killers. What was I supposed to...
Yeah, that's actually... These videos are wicked interesting, but we'll end the stream here. Let's see how many likes we got, guys. 31, thank you guys. Have a good rest of your night. 32, thank you guys.